Hi everybody. Once again, it's been a little while since I've done a video, and I actually have two in mind. The next one I do will be just a little longer. This one's going to be super duper short. I guess I just I was looking through my videos. I haven't watched them for a really long time, and so I'm in the midst of watching them. I think I'm only on like number 28 or 29, so I've got a few to go because I think this is number 96. But as I was watching them, I was realizing that there's a very good possibility that somebody takes me the wrong way. So what I want to do is explain just very briefly my purpose in having done all the videos that I've done, and maybe in the ones that I will be doing. We're each, from what I believe, we're in this world, on the earth, or maybe some other planet, who knows? As far as the earth is concerned, we're here on the earth to have the opportunity to grow and expand, just like the rest of the universe is doing, in our own way as soul. And when I talk about, becoming love and all of that, it is a hard thing to explain because, as I understand it, as it's been explained to me, it's more of a thought than it is semantics and words. And I believe as soul, we are perfect at our core. And having sort of split into little blastodomes, zygotes, or whatever, as we have moved through our lives, we are slowly becoming closer to one another, more familiar, more alike, more, I don't want to say the word more perfect because that sounds like a contradiction, but more loving beings, spiritual beings. And even though I believe that soul is just perfect, I also know that, like I said, as the universe is expanding, that means that God, or whatever you want to call God, and that's my next video, but God, if you want to call it that, is expanding because it is the universe, it is all things. And so we need to kind of move with that. And it's not like we can't move with it, but within us, we don't know all that God knows, because God knows all of everything. And because it has all of our experiences and all of our feelings and all of everything that we are and have been and will be within its body. But we individually do not have that. So I think when I talk about the growth of soul and learning to become love, I'm really talking about us getting to the point where each individual soul has that same capacity that the all has, the God. And it's such a terrible word to use, the word God, because it sounds like I'm talking about something that is outside of myself. Or something that is not inclusive, that it's kind of up there somewhere, because that's how we were raised. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about soul finding its way to become more whole. And not only whole within itself, but of course finding its true soulmate, and then moving on to this perfect place where we are not just sparks of God, but literally whole within God, if that makes sense. And again, God being a very generic word, because I don't know what else to call it. The universe, all energy, everything that lives, everything that is, the is, I could call it the is instead of God, but I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So as I'm watching these, I don't want anybody to get the idea that first off, I don't want you to think I'm telling you how to think. I've been fortunate in my life. I always had a curiosity about these things. But in 1997, when my friend died, I was sort of inadvertently thrust into spirituality, very, very happily thrust into spirituality, and learned an awful lot. And sort of, I feel like I learned the basics, you know. And then at this time, it was about almost 4 years ago now, that I had another I can't even describe it, another experience where I've been offered the opportunity to understand life, spirit, God, soul, living, dying, reincarnation, belief systems, feelings, everything in a much more detailed way as it fits for me. So that's the part I guess I want to make sure I'm clear about. What I believe is true is only true, I know, for me. Now that doesn't mean that everything I'm telling you right now isn't probably exactly what it is. I believe that's exactly what it is. But I don't know if we can all hear that same story. We can't read the same book and get the same thing out of it. You know what I mean? So what I'm sharing with you, I'm only sharing in case there's somebody out there who this does resonate with. It's not going to resonate with everybody because we all have different experiences and different beliefs, and that's exactly why we're here, you know, so it's wonderful. But I just don't want anybody to think that I'm expecting you to suddenly wake up and go, oh, Judy knows it all, you know. I don't. I know what I know from what I have been told, from what I have learned, for me, and where I am in this life and where I am as soul. The rest of it, maybe some of it touches you, maybe some of it doesn't. Maybe I'm not even that clear. There's a possibility that nobody has any idea what I'm talking about. However, I just want to be sure you understand I'm not meaning to preach or be absolute about anything, even if it's absolute for me. Because I believe what I've been told. I believe that we are here for each other. However, we don't have to have the same experiences, exactly the same experiences. We don't have to be at the same place in our spiritual growth. All we have to do is be ourselves, our true, authentic selves. And from that space, we learn from that in whatever way. And for some of us, it's going to temple on Saturday or Friday night or whatever. For some, it's sitting in the middle of the woods on a log and just appreciating nature. For other people, it is singing, and singing expresses their innermost self. For people like me who have always been interested in this kind of thing and have studied religion and everything because of that interest, my experience is from where I am and what I need, and that doesn't mean that 50% of it wouldn't maybe touch somebody else's life, and they wouldn't think, oh, I never thought of it that way, and oh, that's such a relief or whatever. But my goal is certainly not in any way to preach or expect you to believe everything I believe, because that wouldn't even make sense. So that's all I have to say. I just wanted to say that. And like I said, I do want to talk about another thing as far as God is concerned, or the thing we call God, or the thing we think we're talking about. I do want to do a little video on that to kind of explain a little bit more than I have in the past, or at least maybe in a different way. I want to be really clear about it, but that's not for today. So that's all. I just wanted to say all that, and hopefully I'll see you really soon. I'll be hoping to get this. This is a Tuesday, so the way my work schedule, because I have a couple of different jobs, the way my work schedule is running, it'll probably be next Tuesday before I can sit down and do this video I'm talking about. But I know you're not all holding your breath. Most of you won't even see this one. So I'll see you next Tuesday. I don't know whether you'll see me ever or if you'll see me, 5 years down the road. But whatever it is, I will be putting it out there. So thanks for listening. And certainly if you can, just subscribe and like. I would really, really appreciate that. And have a wonderful, wonderful day.